my name is Margaret. I'm the owner of Blue Monkey Tea Company in Pittsburgh. Welcome to my Tea Saturday Live. Today's topic, matcha preparation in the ceremonial way. I will show you how to prepare matcha with a bowl, whisk, and matcha. And there are many other ways, of course, of matcha preparation. Like you can make smoothies, you can make lattes, you can even add matcha to a water bottle and shake it up. But today I want to focus on traditional matcha preparation. If you would like to learn more about matcha and other ways of preparation, please go to our Blue Monkey YouTube channel and find a video called Matcha Tea, Matcha Latte, and Other Recipes. Okay, so as you probably already know, matcha is a finely ground tea that was originally shade grown. What it means that the plants are protected from sun for several weeks before harvesting, and due to this they grow slower, but the flavor aroma is stronger, and also there's more chlorophyll produced, so they are much greener. Then they pick up the very fine leaves, usually just the two top leaves or sometimes only a bud, depending on the grade of matcha, and only those leaves are going to be used, are going to be ground. The grinding is also a very elaborate process. They have to be very careful not to overheat the leaves during grinding because it will cause damage to the plant. It's usually done in granite mills, and it's a very, very lengthy process. But that's not really what I want to talk about today. I just really want to show you a very easy way of preparing matcha, despite of what it may look like, because it does look a little complicated, but it really isn't. There are a couple tricks to it. There's things to keep in mind in order to make it really good, because unfortunately it's really easy to make a bad matcha and it's going to taste bitter. And that's why I'm here, to show you how to make it in a good way. This idea of matcha preparation making matcha and preparation by whisking goes all the way back to beginning of the 12th century, when tea was utilized by Zen monks in Japan. They really enjoyed tea because tea, as we know, has caffeine, and that was helping them stay awake. But also was the ceremony that was developed had a lot of spiritual elements, and so this whole idea of which eventually became known as the Japanese tea ceremony, it was not just a tea preparation ritual, but also it was a contemplation and appreciation of the nature of the utensils used, and its purpose basically was achievement of the deep spiritual contemplation, which still is. A lot of people love to drink, to prepare matcha in this Japanese traditional ceremonial way, not just for a purpose of drinking tea, but also as a relaxing spiritual experience. Let's talk a little. Oh, let me introduce you to some products here. So we have matcha balls, of course, which are usually a little wider at the bottom, flat. This is very pretty. It has like a blue hue, becoming more like gray, and it's not. It's very unusually uneven here on the edge. And this one is $17.99. This is also similar ball, similar shape, but it has this beautiful deep brown kind of gold color, and this one is also $17.99. We have sets. I have some sets here, which include a matcha bowl, a whisk, and a scoop. This one is I'm gonna tell you, I think it's $39.99, and these are all available on our website. It's www.bluemonkeytea.com. You can also purchase something like this. It's a different color, also beautiful earthy colors. It comes with the whisk and also with the chashako, which is a bamboo scoop. And we have several matchas available. Izu matcha is one of our most popular ones. It's fairly reasonably priced. It's actually $6.99 per ounce. Don't forget that if you purchase something during this session, by just mentioning it on in the chat, you can just say, you know, whatever you want to purchase, you just mention it in chat window, okay? So let's say if you want to purchase 1 ounce of Izu matcha, just say, I would like 1 ounce of Izu matcha, and I will contact you, and we're going to, I'm going to help you later. And of course, apply 20% off discount. So, we have other matchas. We have jasmine matcha, also $6.99 per ounce. We even have chai matcha, which, you know, it has spices like chai. Mango, we just got, this is our newest one. It's a mango matcha, very yummy. We also have peppermint matcha and chocolate. We have chocolate matcha. So you can see everything on our website, www.bluemonkeytea.com. And I'm gonna try to have, if you purchase something or if you let me know basically on a chat window, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook, during this presentation you get 20% off your purchase. But I also have a code for a website, Matcha Promo, that you can use to purchase these items at 20% discount. Okay, let's move on to ceremonial matcha preparation. I need some water. In the Japanese tea ceremony, and today I'll be using several utensils, and I want to tell you how they are called in Japanese. So the tea ceremony is called cha no yu. Thank you. Cha no yu. This bamboo whisk, which is amazing. They're actually made from one piece of bamboo, and they are carved by hand. There's several, I forget how many whisks around, and they serve very well, despite of the fact that it's bamboo, but they're very durable. So a whisk is called chasen. Chasen. Okay. And the bamboo scoop, which, yeah, you can use this to scoop up your matcha, or you can actually get something like this. It's a special matcha scoop. It's the equivalent of half a teaspoon, I believe. Yeah. So this is called chashaku. 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 Ha! We're learning some Japanese today. This is part of the set, so I'm gonna put it back where it was. I know what we call this set. We call this pink aura. Oh, beautiful. Matcha bowl, whisk, and chashaku. And this one is $49.99. This one was made in Japan, while these are made in China. That's how usually items from Japan are a little more expensive. And I think this is like a basic vocabulary pertaining to Japanese tea ceremony, so I'm gonna stop here. If you want to have nice, smooth, good tasting matcha, the first step would be to get good quality matcha. There are several grades of matcha, but generally you kind of just want to get matcha called ceremonial grade. Sometimes they use word premium grade, but not so many. Most of merchants, including ourselves, we use word ceremonial grade. Ceremonial grade is basically matcha of the highest quality, as that I explained to you. It comes from specially processed, specially grown tea, shade grown. Shade makes this tea more rich, and it flavor, aroma, and also in those components there'll be more catechins, antioxidants, and also more of the L-theanine, which is another very good for you ingredient that helps to improve the mood and also makes tea taste sweeter. So let's matcha can be pretty expensive depending on the grade, and I have to say that our most expensive one here, which is still not too bad, it's Jade Emperor matcha, and this matcha is double of the price of the Izu matcha, which is really nice grade too. It's a ceremonial grade as well, but you don't use much, so usually 1 or 2 ounces is a good amount to purchase. So once you have a good quality the ceremonial matcha, now let's talk a little bit about culinary or cooking grade matcha. So that type of matcha will be made of leaves that grow lower on the plant. They're not necessarily shade grown, and they will be much more bitter, and yeah, so that's like a main difference. And those culinary matchas are usually added to products like pre-made shake mixes, or maybe used to flavor chocolates, or some other products, cakes. So if you are thinking about using matcha in cooking, by all means, you don't really have to get premium matcha or ceremonial grade matcha. But for this tea preparation, the ceremonial matcha preparation, you definitely need a ceremonial grade matcha. Other tip: drink from a bowl. Do not, when you drink from the bowl, the flavor, the liquid reaches all parts of your mouth, so you will have a much more fuller and more complex experience, because you don't want to just if you drink from a mug, the liquid just goes in the middle of your tongue and it doesn't really get to the sides of your mouth and sides of your tongue, so you don't have a full drinking experience. And some notes actually might be more prominent, and a lot of times are those bitter notes. So drink from a bowl, hopefully from a matcha bowl, but you can also use some other bowl that you have, maybe that you use for cereal or soup. Proper amount, very important. So there are two types of matcha, thick and thin. Usually we drink thin matcha. Thick matcha is used by connoisseurs, maybe people who in maybe special tea ceremonies, but generally the matcha that we prepare and drink will be thin matcha. To make thin matcha, you will need about 1.5 to 2 scoops of chashako scoops, or it will translate into about 1 teaspoon, 1 flat teaspoon of tea. And you will only use about 2 ounces of water. If you don't observe these proportions, the matcha will be too watery and it's not going to taste good. If you use too little water, matcha is going to be too strong and it's also not going to taste good. So let's make some matcha. I wonder if we can have camera a little lower, or can we see? Is it all well visible there, operator? Before I do this, let me show you something else. Matcha, ceremonial grade matcha is usually very smooth. In fact, there is a little test you can do to see the quality. And the color. What you do is just put a little bit of matcha on the paper, and then you just draw a line like that. And this will, I put a little too much, but generally this should be a bit of the very smooth consistency, no granules, no, all should be very, very smooth, kind of like makeup. Sorry, I just put this off. So I will be using, to make matcha even better, it is a really good idea to actually sift it. So you can use something like this, which is basically it's basically a tea strainer. And I do have matcha. So let's do just like this. So this will ensure that the matcha will whisk very uniformly and will create very nice and smooth and creamy drink. I'm using 2 scoops because I will be making a thin matcha. Usucha. So this is nicely sifted. Ooh, looks really, really good. I wish we could show you this up close. I don't know if you can see. Okay. So I already measured 2 of these. I'm just going to add it to my bowl. We are just going to add a little bit of, a couple ounces of water. Then I am going to take a whisk, and first you can do a couple round strokes, but generally you want to, the strokes have to have a shape of letter W or M, just the same thing. And you work with your wrist. Try not to, I have to get up to do it to show you, but you work with the wrist. It's good to hold your whisk like this, thumb on one side and 2 fingers here, and whisk, 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 whisk. First you kind of brush whisk against the bottom of the bowl, but gradually you kind of move it up, and towards the end, this is what you're supposed to have at the end of this whisking. It's a nice froth. Like I said, observe the proportions. You don't want to use too much water, and you don't want to use too little of the tea. However, word of caution, matcha is very caffeinated because it's a very concentrated tea. So if you use too much, not only it's going to taste bitter, but also you might be too caffeinated. Okay, now I can take this off. This is my easy matcha. Yeah, if the foam disappears, you just do this again, right before you take your sips. The water temperature has to be no higher than 180 degrees, and this is also very important, because if you use water that's too hot, it's going to make matcha taste bitter. And I showed you a couple times already. I use either another mug or a measuring cup. When the water is brought to boil, all you have to do is just pour it into another cup. I'm going to use 2 ounces. It's a little more than 2. But this actually cools water very nicely to about 180 degrees. And let's have a drink. You try to do it in 3 sips. Matcha is sort of like a shot. It's a very concentrated drink. So you drink it, and it's a really good idea to actually have something sweet. In fact, can I see the digestives? Usually for Japanese tea ceremony, they will offer you a bean cake, some kind of little sweet to take before tasting matcha. But I actually found out that these biscuits work really well too. I don't want to open this box, but yes, so let's take a sip. This is amazing. Actually, there is a couple sort of like bitter notes in it, but I also taste the creaminess, sweetness, and it's kind of like almost kind of like nutty notes a little bit, and maybe like I always say, that there's some like kind of like gingerbread notes in it too, but that's just me. You might taste it quite different. Oh, this is really good because good way of placing tea in your mouth. Like I said, the wide rim and the ball will ensure that the liquid covers all sides of your, like the whole mouth, all of your tongue, and then sides of the mouth. So you, because the perception of tea is different on different parts of the mouth. Okay, now when you get to the last sip, you're supposed to slurp it. I don't know if you heard me. So slurping in Japanese tea ceremony is very significant. It means, it tells the host that you finished your tea and that you also appreciate it because you drank the whole thing. And also, like I say, signify to host that you finished, and then she or he will serve tea to a next guest. It was pretty good. You might have to experiment several times with your matcha to make it taste good, but don't give up, because like sometimes it's really hard to figure out exactly how much water to use, and I'm gonna go over these steps one more time, which are kind of proven and they work for me, but you might have a different taste, and some people actually like their matcha to be stronger and sort of more bitter, but of course, majority of people rather prefer a taste that's not bitter, it's, sweeter and more mellow. So once again, Paula is asking, hi Kelly. Paula is asking if matcha can go well with Girl Scout cookies. She got a present. Yes, Paula, definitely, but don't eat too much. Just take maybe a couple bites before, not a whole cookie, before tasting matcha. If you would really like to have a, full proper experience, and you want to taste that matcha fully. Now this, so good, tastes really good. Who else is here? Brandy, hi. Brandy's asking if the matcha we carry is organic. We do have 3 organic matchas. We have Taishan matcha, that's organic. This one here, Taishan matcha. This is $7.99 per ounce. But like I said, I have a special going on during the show. If you order something, if you order any of these accessories or matchas, it's 20% off. We also have Pearl River organic. Let me see if I can find that. Here we go. Pearl River organic matcha. That's $6.99 per ounce. And we just got our newest flavored matcha. It's a mango matcha. It is also organic, and it's $7.99 per ounce. And like I say, you guys don't need, usually you just need 1 or 2 ounces. It will last for a while. What else? Shalanda, hi. She loves matcha. Thank you. Thanks for joining me today. Hi, Holly. Hi, Mel. She's going to have some shortbread. And, Laura is asking, do you have the cookie in your mouth when you drink, or do you eat the cookie, then drink? You eat the cookie first, and then drink. If you guys have some kind of Japanese store in your neighborhood, like we have one in Pittsburgh, they sell special sweets with bean paste. And they can be, you can also ask for sweets that go with Japanese tea ceremony. But like I said, even chocolate, like I did chocolate and tea pairing class a few weeks ago, and I have to say that I believe the white chocolate was really, really good with matcha. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with, having some sweets in matcha, because it's going to make it more, really, really, really sweet and pleasurable. But the whole idea of preparing matcha in a Japanese ceremony way and drinking is to fully appreciate and discover the delightful taste of matcha. So lining a stomach, or like I said, preparing your mouth with the sweet is helpful, but you don't really want to eat sweets and drink matcha at the same time if you want to truly, enjoy matcha and, like I said, explore. Joanne is asking, do you have the matcha kits? So these are actually our matcha sets. They don't have matcha with them, but you can always purchase matcha separately, and we can, if it's a gift, we can just add it here in a little packet. This set, I think it's called Fern something on our website. I should remember. It's really, really pretty. This a matcha bowl, matcha whisk, and the scoop, chashaku. So this one is $39.99. It's going to be 20% off today. And like I said, if you just want to get like 1 ounce of Izu matcha, that regular price is $6.99. So it's also 20% off. You can also purchase matcha already in a tin. Usually we sell them on the website as well. And speaking of chasen, something interesting, like I said, they are made from one piece of bamboo that has been carved. They are $16.99. We sell them separately. There's one more gadget, the holder. If you really, really want to have all matcha gadgets, I'm going to show you one more item. And this is, like I said, hand carved. So these are also available. Open. Okay, we have matcha whisk stands too. It's good to have one because after you wash them and you basically just rinse them out, please don't put them in a dishwasher. You can just put it on. It's not gonna stain. Okay, let's use mine. My old one. They're going to, when it's wet, it's going to stay on it, and it will help to maintain the shape of it. They're also very pliable, so after a while your whisk might get a little too narrow, like this one, but it still works very well. You can always even spread these whisks like this with just simply with your fingers, but they because they're pliable. Okay, stay. Okay, let's see if there's any other questions. Dorothy says she likes my top. Can you bring the kimono? I was actually going to wear a kimono that I got a while ago, but as always, not enough time for dress up, and because I only have half an hour between the time the store closes and this session starts. But thank you. Thin mints. Yeah, but I think mints. Oh, speaking of mints, we have peppermint matcha too. Mocha. Oh, Mel says that there's an online place called, I think you guys saw it in comments, that sells Japanese snacks. Okay, so this was my kimono I was supposed to wear. But I'll still have, there'll be still more classes about matcha and Japanese tea ceremony and Japanese tea, so I'll be using it. Yep. Anything to entertain you people. Okay, so what else do I want to tell you? If you want to have a, like, more authentic Japanese tea ceremony, whether with few guests or even by yourself, there's a couple other elements that go with. One of them will be floral arrangement, not very elaborate, usually very simple, just like one branch. This vase is almost too fancy. It will be like very simplistic. Sometimes you don't even use the vase, you will just basically hang like a branch maybe on the wall. You will also, if you have a scroll or some kind of painting, you can also display that too. It's all, because tea ceremony, like I said, it's not just about drinking tea, but also it's a spiritual, aesthetic experience, and it involves appreciation of and contemplation of art and nature as well. Nature usually will be represented by something correlating with the season. So, and like I said, very, very simple, maybe a branch of some bush or maybe some straws. And Yuka Gucci, my friend, Japanese tea master, she says the less perfect, the better. Because that's everything, pretty much most of the things in nature are not perfect. And when you have a Japanese tea ritual, you surround yourself with things from nature, and tea is one of them. However, tea probably should be perfect, or as close to it as possible. Okay, yeah, Lotus in the Strip District. Oh, yeah, and we sell, okay, let me just present to you all different matches that we sell. I'm gonna just line them up here. So we have jasmine, we have izu matcha that's not flavored. We have organic taishan matcha, chocolate matcha. We have Bengal chai matcha, which is you know, with added spices, but it's all ground. And this is the white matcha, which is made of white tea, with white tea. Is it visible? Okay. What else I have? Peppermint matcha. You can make great peppermint chocolate chip muffins with that. My friend Robin, who owns a company, Get More Muffins, she uses matcha in her baking. This one more here. Oh, this is our highest grade. It's called Jade Emperor Matcha, and we do sell matcha in tea bags, but I don't even like to talk about this because generally you really don't get much, because the whole idea of why matcha is so good for you, because you ingesting the whole leaf. It's a ground up leaf and it's processed as green tea. So if you have matcha in the bag, there's still some stuff that doesn't get into your system, because you're just going to steep these bags. And the idea of the health benefit of matcha is because we whisk the whole thing. The matcha is ground, leaves are ground, then you whisk it and you drink the whole thing. Okay, I am going to finish. Thank you so much for listening. However, I want to extend my offer. Whoops, I just ripped this. And you can still purchase all matcha accessories, these matcha bowl sets or single bowls, matcha whisks, anything. Oh, let's not forget about matcha whisk. This is electric whisk used for frothing of milk, but it works really well to make matcha instead of using a bamboo whisk. All these products and all matchas are I'm trying to make it pretty, are available on the website for 20% off. And I'm going to extend it until tomorrow night. So if you purchase them today, Saturday, or tomorrow, Sunday, and you enter code Matcha Promo on the checkout page, that will give you 20% off. Okay? And hopefully you can make matcha in this traditional way, and it's going to taste delightful. Thank you so much. Take care.